Holy cow, it's evening. Good evening, everybody. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I spent a lot of time working on different things today. It seemed kind of hectic in my eyes, so I didn't vlog a lot of it, but I stopped at the real estate office, worked on some stuff for my house I'm working on trying to sell for a client. Then I worked at the other job that I announced on Facebook. I'm getting ready to get some mailings done and got the stuff picked up for that. Then I took a few minutes, actually a few hours, and went out fishing for a little bit. Got Heather and Sean out fishing for a little bit. It was just a much needed relaxation time. And after how busy I was this morning working on real estate and stuff, I really needed it. So it was nice to get out and just relax. So you'll see that video in here in a little bit. I'm going to show you a different video first. So I'm going to show you this other video. People often wonder, how do I have so much time for all these little part-time jobs that I'm doing and yet focus and have enough energy and time to do the other things that I like to do? So I'm going to show you this video, then I'll come back and explain it a little bit. So hopefully it makes sense, but yeah, just do a little bit of thinking and I'll catch up with you in a minute.
There's a well-known story about a university professor who wanted to make a point about how we make the most of our time. The professor stood before his class with some items in front of him. When the class began, without speaking, he picked up a large, empty jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was full. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly and watched as the pebbles rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The professor then asked the students again if the jar was full. They chuckled and agreed that it was indeed full this time. The professor picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand filled the remaining open areas of the jar. "Now," said the professor, "I want you to recognize that this jar signifies your life. The rocks are the truly important things, such as family, health, and relationships. If all else was lost and only the rocks remained, your life would still be meaningful. The pebbles are the other things that matter in your life, such as work or school. The sand signifies the remaining small stuff and material possessions. If you were to put sand into the jar first, there is no room for the rocks or the pebbles. The same can be applied to your lives. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are truly important. Pay attention to the things in life that are critical to your happiness and well-being. Take time to look after your health, play with your children, go for a run, write a letter to your grandmother. There will always be time to go to work, clean the house, or watch TV. Take care of the rocks first. The things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just pebbles and sand."
So in this video, you've seen they put rocks or like golf balls in a jar. After that, they then ask the people, is that jar full? And everybody would say, yes, it's full. Well, then they take pebbles, little tiny pebbles, and add that to the jar and ask the same question. Is it full? Most people, 100% of people say, yes, it's full. You couldn't add anything else. Then they come out with sand and add sand to it. And then it still says it's full. I've seen different variations where they add like water, they add beer after it to signify something else. Well, here's the long story short. Take the big rocks, and that's like they said, the important things in your life. So for me, it's family, it's a lot of different things, that are important to me. Ultimately, I kind of think, to an extent, work's important to me. My full-time job is important to me. Real estate is important to me. I like helping out my clients and making them happy. So them are kind of my important things, but yet I do add fishing and hunting and being outdoors into my important things because that is what makes me happy. I enjoy being outdoors. I enjoy vlogging and all that. That all makes me happy. So I add them in there. I make sure I have enough time in every day to do all them tasks that I have to do associated with them. Then you add in the pebbles. The those other things that, your possessions. My car is important to me, my truck, my house, my farm, my boat, all that stuff's important to me. But if I added that stuff first and didn't worry about the other stuff, my other jobs are important also. If I added that first, then I wouldn't have enough room for the bigger things, such as family, real estate, work, my main jobs that pay the bills and stuff, or friends and things like that. Then you add in the sand, which is all the little tiny things, like the smaller possessions. You still want them, you still need them. But then you add like the water in or beer, it signifies that there's still more room and more time to go out with a friend, have a drink with a friend, do something with a friend, whether it's fishing, what have you. There's still time for that. In life, you have to prioritize things. And if you don't prioritize them the correct way, you're going to put all that water in there, you're going to put all that sand in there, and you're not going to have time for the things that actually matter. So you got to take time to prioritize it and pick up them big things, put them in there first, and then add the smaller things, the pebbles, and make time for them. And then add in the sand and make time for that stuff. And then add in a water or beer or what have you to make time for that friend where it gets you outside and enjoy it. So people ask, like I said, going back to the beginning, people ask, how come I do so much different stuff and how do I make time for it? Well, I'll tell you, I kind of broke it down one day. And if I spend 9 hours to 10 hours at my full-time job, I come home, I spend a couple hours on real estate, I spend a couple hours on my other one, I spend a couple hours sometimes vlogging, but that is only right now because it's what I feel that I can do and make these vlogs decent. It's only on the weekends, and that's typically my days off from my full-time job, so that frees up 10 hours a day. I still spend a little bit of time doing real estate, but I like to take a break once in a while also. So I take that time and I do some vlogging. I go out fishing, I go out hunting and do stuff with the dogs. I do stuff around the house. So I'm always working. So if I take a normal day, 10 hours at my full-time job, a couple hours with real estate, an hour or so with the other one, I'm at 14, 15 hours there. If I take out 8 hours for fishing, I'm still at 22 hours. So I got 3 hours or so to either spend more on real estate, more on vlogging, more on looking up things, research, the volunteering that I do, like Heritage Days and stuff. I have time to add all that into there, but yet I still have time for the more important things. I go spend time with family. I go spend time on these other jobs and dedicated to that, but yet I still can keep up my house and do everything. So I do seem very busy, and I am very busy, I'm not going to lie. Some days I do probably want to pull my hair out because I might be taking on too much. But I hope that this story and this video that I just showed you kind of explains a little bit about how I prioritize things and how can I do so much stuff without bogging myself down. I see people that all they do is go to work for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, come home and sleep or play games or whatever. That's fine for you. It's not fine for me. I rarely have my TV on. If I'm doing something, I'm watching like a YouTube video, trying to learn from it, trying to grow my vlogging side of it, or I'm doing stuff with real estate, trying to grow that aspect of it. So I rarely have my big TV on. Once in a while I'll have it on in the background for noise. But typically I am doing stuff work related with different things. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys understand that and understand how I prioritize myself to be able to multitask and do different functions and different jobs with it and still make enough time to be outside and enjoy it. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoyed this video. A little bit of fishing, a little bit of me explaining how I prioritize the important things in my life and how do I stay so busy, but how do I maintain that. So with that, I hope you guys had a great day. Stay cool out there. It's supposed to get really hot out. With that, take it easy, guys. Remember, I can. And stand up for somebody that can't stand up for themselves or somebody that is silent. You guys know I push that a lot, and seeing some videos from like Sam again, he's going through stuff and he's been picked on and I was picked on, and that's how come I got started with vlogging. So stand up for somebody that can't. Just because somebody wants to be a hater with them and bully them to try getting a reaction, try feeling better about themselves, stand up to them, stand up to that bully and tell them that it's not okay what they're doing and help that person out. You never know when that last straw that bully is doing could be that person that they're bullying. It could be the last straw and they could decide to end their life. So help them out and remember, I can, and we'll catch you guys later.